everybody, Al here. Welcome to the Phoenix Manufacturing Shop. Today we are going to be making, or over the next couple days, we're going to be making a coal-fired forge out of a 55-gallon drum. And going to go step by step. So, hope you all enjoy the video. Peace. Here's the 55-gallon Pennzoil drum that we're going to cut in half the long ways, and we're going to make a coal forge out of it. There you go. Let's get cutting. All right, what we're going to want to do here is we want to use this existing hole here for the pipe to go through, for the air supply to go through. So we're going to be cutting along here and along that side over there. So I'm going to get my blue tape and mark off my lines. All right, I got my lines cut right where I want them. There you go. So time to get out the cutting tool and saw this sucker in half. And that's what's left of two cutting wheels, two 4.5-inch cutting wheels, and there's another one sitting over on the grinder that's about like that. So it took basically 3 wheels to cut through one drum. Alright, what we're doing now is we're removing the spill cap here, the air cap. I was going to use the bigger one down there, but my pipe that I'm going to drill the holes in will fit better in here. So I'm using this just this handy little file here and just twisting it out. Alright, well, I got it mounted on the cinder block at a pretty decent height. I've got the edges all smoothed out, so there's nothing rough on there that's going to cut you. Not that you shouldn't be wearing safety equipment, but you know how that goes, right? So there we have the beginning of our coal forge. Let's see what's next. Alright, here's my pipe. It's gonna be my air pipe. Alright, and I marked holes through it, so when it sits, a little bit goes to the front, a little bit goes to the back, or the left or the right, depending on how you are facing the forge. And the air supply is gonna come in through here. So let's get drilling some holes. Alright, so the holes are drilled. As you see, I decided to veer off a little bit from my pattern, but that's fine. That's kind of a thing as you go. And I decided not to go down all the way to the end, because on one side of the forge I'm going to want to just keep some charcoal, you know, that I can feed into it. So there you go. Let's see how it fits. Alright, well there it is. It fits in there pretty good. I'm still going to have to do a little bit of welding down around here. And I put the rebar, pieces of rebar in there to keep it nice and even. I'm going to tack weld those to the end there, and then I have an end cap, which right now is sitting on the kiln. I'm going to put the end cap on there, and I'm going to tack weld that onto there. So far looking pretty good. We got an area right there where we could put our coal pieces, and we have the area over here that'll actually end up being what's burning. You know, where the air is coming through. Let's see what's next. Alright, I decided I was going to make the holes a little bit bigger. The little test told me that the holes were not nearly big enough, but now I've got, you know, about a dozen of them in there, and it's going to be a pretty forceful source of air, so I think we're good to go here. Now it's time for a little welding. my neighbor Terry.
Morning.
We're just chilling out and working on this forge. And here's Craig. He's doing a little tack welding too, right on the end there. All right, that should do it. That should do it. The gang's all here. All right, so this is where we are so far, and this is where we're going to stop for today. But we got the end cap on. Craig and I did the welding. Got enough holes drilled in there, as you can see. I added a couple more holes. There's my crappy welding job. But next, we're going to line it with some fire brick and add the grate on it, which I'm getting from an old grill. And once that's done, throw some coal on it. Fire it up. Air source, not a problem. Already got that worked out. But that'll be in the next video as well. All right, here's where we are so far. Got my dogs barking. Shut up! Couple of chihuahuas. All right, so anyway, we got fire brick under there. It's basically coated underneath with fire brick. And yes, I know it's red, but it is fire brick, and I got it local. On top of that is refractory cement. No, it is not just the plaster of Paris and sand. I didn't show making it because there's a million recipes for this on the internet. This one particular one has got sodium silicate and perlite and Portland cement and water and a couple other things in there. So it's actually it's actually good grade refractory cement. Anyway, that filled in all the gaps and whatnot. Welded on the other wall, the inner wall there, and top there is going to be welded a piece of metal that I'm going to cut from that barrel, and that's going to be the coal supply. I'm going to let that cure overnight, and then tomorrow we'll finish the whole thing. So here's the forge. Again, like I said, we've got fire brick and a really good mixture for refractory cement. This is the coal pan. Now, as you notice, the welding is pretty crappy, but that's okay because it's just going to hold coal and it's not going anywhere. But if you happen to be a good welder, and if you have a welding machine that's better than this 90 amp AC Harbor Freight welder, which is pretty much all I have to use for right now, you'll be able to do a much better job on the fit and finish of this coal pan. But for the intents of this video, which is making a coal-fired forge out of a 55-gallon drum, we're done. So let's throw some coal in there and hook up our air source and see what happens. All right, as you can hear, we got the forge going. Got a little piece of rebar in there. Let's see how hot it gets. Well, folks, there you have it. I did not let that rebar sit in there long enough to get orange hot, but I was just trying to let y'all know that it does work. Probably another 15-20 minutes would have been great, but I got it hot enough to flatten it out a little bit, which pretty much tells me that this has been a successful test. So there you go, folks. A homemade forge, charcoal forge, made out of a 55-gallon drum, piece of hose, a hair dryer, a little bit of welding. And if you don't have a welder, you could probably do the same thing with hand tools, nuts and bolts, you know, whatever. But you all get the idea. Okay, so there you have it. Enjoy. Peace out.